This course is presented to you free of charge by TTJ Tech Services of www.ttjtech.biz and by Stir It Up of www.stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U, not an I, so that's STURITUP.com. TTJ Tech Services and Stir It Up are pleased to offer this course to you, to the glory of God, and to the benefit of all those who listen. Well, praise God. Praise God. All right, session number 10. This is today of Voiceover In and Out. Trainer Matt from TTJ Tech Services here with you. Glad to have you here with us, whether you're listening live or on one of the podcast platforms. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. That way you stay informed of everything that's going on. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you also subscribe to our newsletter at ttjtech.biz. ttjtech.bravo indigo zulu. Now we're going to continue our discussion of the Apple Calendar. And today is going to be an experience lab in a little bit for those who are attending live. But before we do that, I do want to go back and just kind of look at a couple of other little things here very quickly. And one of them is this idea of recurrence patterns for repeating events. We talked about it on Monday, but I thought it might be a good idea for me to go ahead and demonstrate it to you a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to use the original audio mode here and give you a little demo of recurrence options. See if we can work together to get through some of this to help you if you're scheduling custom repeats.
Selected. Original. Done. Button. Speech off.
Okay. So the scenario is I have a custom repeat. I have an event that repeats, but not in a typical fashion of like weekly or monthly or yearly, but rather, maybe it's like the first Tuesday of each month or every Tuesday and Thursday or, things of that nature. So it's not going to be reasonable to expect that we'll look at all of these options, but we may be able to look at some of them here. We are able to look at some of them here. So I've got my iPhone, and we are going to return to the
Photos,
calendar app.
Notes, room, clock, photos, camera, calendar.
Okay.
2025, back button.
And I want to remind you, if you need a refresher of how to add events, including locations and travel time and alerts and, invitees and multiple calendars and all these kinds of things, or if you need a refresher on how to find events that are already on your calendar, please go back. We covered all of that in session number 8, which is already live on the podcast on your favorite platform. So this is going to assume that you've already listened to that, either live or on the podcast or both. And so we're going to go back to Add
button.
Upper right corner of the screen and double tap.
Text field is editing.
Now, I'm not even going to fill out all this information because we did that demo on Monday. What I'm going to do is jump directly to the repeat option where we would, and when we did this, we actually did on Monday do a repeat, which was every day, but only for 2 days. I had a third day in there because of the way I did that on purpose, but it was my daughter's musical that she's going to be in, and we're very excited about that. She's really having a good time. Of course, this is not her first year doing it, but they're doing Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat for those who are curious, and because there's tends to be a shortage of men who do drama club. She's actually one of the brothers, for those of you who are familiar with the biblical account of Joseph and so forth. She's Levi. So we're very excited. Lots of singing. It's a really neat musical. And what they do is they tell the story, the true account of Joseph and being sold into slavery by his own brothers, being taken to Egypt, and all of this. But they put it in a modern musical style. So you've got all these different songs. They have one that they're like singing like they're French singers. Another one is like a Jamaican thing. There's like country and western vibes to some of these songs. The Pharaoh of in the actual person playing the Pharaoh has to play almost like an Elvis feel. So it's going to be really neat, and we're excited. So that was the thing we tested by actually adding it. We didn't just test it. I really added it to our calendar in our demo on Monday from session 8. This time, we're not going to fill out any details but the recurrence. So, I'll go past all this stuff.
Alert. Second add attachment. Repeat. Never.
Went
button.
too far. Now, you notice that right now it says repeat is never. And of course, if you're scheduling just a one-time event, you're just going to leave that alone. There's no need to do anything else. It's a one-time event and it never repeats. At least not in a regularly determined recurrence pattern. You may do the same thing again, but it's not, you're not going to schedule it that way. So that's if you don't want the event to repeat. But we're going to double tap on this repeat never button.
Selected never button.
And again, as you can see, we have the common options.
Every day, every week, every 2 weeks, every month, every year button.
So there are 5 options you can choose from. If it's a simple recurrence, if it occurs every Friday, if it occurs once a month, annually at the same, that's the easy one. And you just pick one of those by double tapping it. And then you'll have the option of choosing to end the repeat at a certain date as well if you want to, or to say never. The issue becomes if it's a more complex recurrence pattern. And so we're going to swipe to the right.
Custom button.
And we're going to choose custom.
Cap high.
Now,
custom button.
I'm going to double tap that.
Dismiss context menu. New back button.
And there's a back button at the upper left. All right, we're going to look at these options here. Swipe to the right.
Custom heading. Frequency daily button.
Okay, so the first thing you have is frequency daily. If you want to change that, you need to double tap it to get additional options. Realize that just because the frequency is set to daily does not mean that it has to be an everyday occurrence. But it means it's more often than weekly. It's going to be multiple days in the same week. And that's why when I swipe to the right now, if I leave the frequency on daily,
every day,
you have every day. That's how it's set right now. If I go to the right again,
event will occur every day.
It explains that.
Event will occur every day.
Now, what if I don't want it to occur every day? Let's go back to the left.
Every day.
And double tap on that.
Every day.
Now, what that's done.
Frequency, daily, every day.
Swipe right.
1. Picker item, adjustable.
Okay.
1 of 999.
There,
swipe up.
And I'll pause the speech there with a 2-finger tap. There is a value adjuster, a picker, which is currently set to 1. And let's go to the right.
Day, picker item, adjustable.
And
1
you have
of 1.
day.
Swipe up. Event will occur every day.
Now, that one I don't think can change.
Day, picker day. 1 of
no,
a day.
It does not. But what does happen if you go to the left
1. Picker item.
Is you can
adjustable.
Swipe.
1 of 9 on 2. 2 of not 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, I can keep swiping. It said there's 999, right? But I went 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10. So now listen to when I swipe to the right.
Days. Picker item.
And that's
adjustable. Days.
Not changeable, that box there. But go to the right.
Event will occur every 10 days.
So we've now set it to say that the event will occur every 10 days. Okay, so that's one example.
Every 10 days.
Okay, let's go back to the left.
Frequency, daily, button.
And let's change this. Let's double tap on that.
Selected, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, dismiss context menu.
All right, so you've got 4 options there. Let's go to weekly.
Year, monthly, weekly, button.
Okay.
Frequency, weekly.
And you notice that that other one I told you it was multiple days in the same week. It doesn't even have to be. It's just an every so many days, however often that occurs. So that was that was relatively easy. All right, let's look at weekly.
Frequency, weekly, button. Every 10 weeks.
Now it's remembering that 10 from when I had the 10 days there. But let's double tap on that.
Every 10 weeks. Event will occur every 10 weeks. Sunday.
Okay.
Every
Now
10 weeks.
It apparently was already showing.
Every
so
10. Pick a item.
I had to double tap it again. Let's go down to every week.
9, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 of 999.
Now,
week. Pick a item.
And that,
adjustable.
Again,
week.
is unchangeable. So go to the right.
Event will occur every week.
Event will occur every week. But it's not just that, because if you keep going to the right, watch what you have. And you'll notice
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, selected, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Now, why was Wednesday already selected? Well, because my calendar, when I started adding this event, was already on today's date. So it defaulted to the start date as today, which happens to be a Wednesday for those who are listening online later and may not realize that. This is a Wednesday when we're doing this. Now, had I chosen a different start date in the add event screen, remember, you don't have to go to the date in your calendar first. You can just do it from the screen where you add the event. But had I chosen a different start date that would have been a different day of the week, maybe a Thursday, for example, or a Friday, then that would have been the day that's already pre-selected here. But here's the really cool part. If I want this to occur every week on Wednesday and Friday, all I have to do...
Friday. Selected. Friday.
Now I've double tapped on Friday. Now let's look. If Friday is selected.
Saturday. Selected. Friday.
And if I swipe left.
Thursday. Selected. Wednesday.
So is Wednesday. They're both selected. So if I go to the left enough here.
Event will occur every week on Wednesday and Friday.
Notice that event will occur every week on Wednesday and Friday. And so that's another example of a kind of recurrence that you might do. And again, I don't have to leave it on 1.
Week 1, pick her item. 2 of 990.
Every 2 weeks.
Weeks. Event will occur every 2 weeks on Wednesday and Friday.
You see that? So you have some different options there as far as the weekly frequency. All right, let's take a look at the next one.
2. Every 2 weeks. Frequency. Weekly. Daily, monthly, button.
Okay, we're going to do monthly.
Frequency.
This one's pretty cool. So let's go to the right.
Frequency, monthly, every 2 months.
And that is
2. Picker item.
The picker's already showing, and again, that's because we had 2 selected when we were dealing with weeks.
1.
I can swipe up or down. Now it's down to 1. Go to the right.
Month. Picker item.
And then,
adjustable. Month.
Again, that is unchangeable in this mode, but you can change the number. Every 1 month, every 2 months, every 3 months, what have you. All right, go to the right.
Event will occur every month.
Okay, so far, event will occur every month because that's what we have set. But now go to the right.
Selected. Each.
You have each, and you have
on the.
Or on the. So if we leave each selected, go to the right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All these dates here. And so, if you keep going all the way to the end of the month, it's going to have all the dates. So let's say, for example, it's the 8th. All right, now what I've done is I've double tapped on
1 on the select event will occur every month on the 5th and 8th.
Okay, the 5th was already selected because today's the 5th. Again, if I go to the right,
2, 5,
I can deselect that, and now
select on the event will occur every month on the 8th.
Okay, so you can pick if it's the 8th of each month, whatever it is, that whatever date, or multiple dates even within a month. Notice I selected the 5th and the 8th the first time. Well, the 5th was already selected, so it says that the event would occur on the 5th and the 8th. So you can do any combination of things there. It can occur on the 1st and the 10th and, different dates, whatever you want to select. But notice that's just one option because we have each, but we also have on the. And so if I look at on the,
month, picker item.
go to the right.
If selected,
Each is selected right now, but let's change it to
on
the,
selected, on the,
and go to the right.
first, picker item,
Now,
adjustable,
this
one
is
of seven.
this is a
Swipe
picker.
up or down
First,
with second, third, fourth, fifth, next to last, last, seven of last.
okay, so you have first, second, because there's not going to be more than 5 of anything in a month, right? You can't have like 6 Sundays in a month or something like that. There's only going to be 4 or 5 of any weekday in the month. So that's why you have 1 through 5, and then you have
Next to last,
next,
6 of 7.
next to last,
Last.
and on the last, and I think probably
First.
yeah, so you have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then you have next to last or last. And so you can pick any of those, and if you swipe to the right,
Sunday, picker item.
this is a picker. So
1 of
swipe
10.
up.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, day, 8 of 10. Weekday, weekend day, 10 of 10. Weekend,
Okay.
first.
So you have the first any day of the week. Sunday, the first Sunday, the second Sunday, whatever you want to do. And then the next option
First,
after
weekend, day,
Saturday was day. So let's say that you want to say it occurs on the first day of the month, or on the first, or not even first. You could say on the third day of the month, or something like that. And then here,
weekday, 9 of 10.
on the first weekday of the month. So let's suppose that your month starts on a Saturday, and so Monday is going to be the third, but that's the first weekday of the month, right? And your event always occurs on the first weekday. That is this, and then
weekend day,
weekend day would be the other option. So that if your month happens to start on a Wednesday or something, that event's going to occur on that particular Saturday. So you have each, and you have on the. So if you're going to try to do like I think where the one place that Sarah and I were saying you have to create multiple events, it doesn't have here on the, like, you can't select second and third Sunday of the month. But now that I'm thinking about that, I sort of think there was an option we saw that would have allowed you to do that. If I had gone to
selected on the,
where am I thinking? Each, maybe?
on the 1, 2,
Let's
3.
see. No, because that's just the dates. Maybe I'm thinking of the frequency. Let me see. Maybe I'm thinking of weekly.
Weekly button.
But I don't.
Monday, Sunday. Event will occur every week.
Yeah, so you could
Selected.
You could change it to like every 2. I don't know that would really work, though. That might be still the one exception where you'd have to do, like, if it's always the second and third Sundays of the month. That one might be a little bit hard with these recurrence patterns. You might have to create one event that occurs on the second Sunday of every month, and another one that occurs on the third Sunday of every month. This weekly frequency might work, but I'm just not. There's a little bit of a disconnect in my mind here right now about whether that would work or not. I'd have to try it and see how it plays out. But you definitely can see. And there's also the yearly option, of course. And I'll just go show you that quick.
Tuesday, month, every frequency, week, daily, yearly, dismissed yearly. Button.
So with yearly,
frequency, every year. 1. Picker item.
You can change this.
2. Every 2 years.
Right, you can change that any way you want.
2 years. Picker item.
And then
event will occur every 2 years. Jan. February. March. April. May.
So you can pick what month it occurs in. All the months are here. And it has days of the week. Listen.
Days of week. Switched button. Off. Days of week.
So,
on.
if that's on.
First. Picker item. Sunday. Picker item. Sunday. Picker item.
Alright, so let's just leave it at first Sunday and see what that looks like.
Years. 2. Every event will occur every 2 years on the first Sunday of November.
Interesting. So, you can... That one again.
Sunday. First. Picker item. Sunday. Picker item.
Those are pickers, so you can't have multiple, but it just, you can say, it occurs on the first like it has there now, Sunday of November. Every November, whatever the first Sunday is, that's when it's going to occur. You could do, for example, and a real practical example of that. You wouldn't actually need to do this because you have the U.S. holidays calendar, but we have uh, like Veterans Day, or not Veterans Day. What's the one I'm thinking of? Labor Day, which is always the first Monday in September. And so, you could just schedule it that way. You wouldn't even need to know the date. You just, whatever the first Monday of September is, it's always going to be that date. Now, again, you wouldn't have to do that because you have the U.S. holidays calendar. Um, Another example, in our area, we have an event every October called Fall Foliage. It's a big festival, lots of food and craft vendors and entertainment and all sorts of stuff. Fresh apple cider. It's a really nice event. Our family went a couple times this year, and it always begins on the first Saturday in October. So, you could schedule that, and it's a 2 week event, but it's only on the weekends. But you know that it always begins on the first Saturday. You don't always know what that date's going to be, but you can guarantee that it's the first Saturday of October. So that's a useful way to do something like that. Let's back out of this.
Every 2 years. 224.
Now,
New. Back button.
I'm gonna
Cancel. Cancel. Alert. Are you sure you want to discard this new event? Discard changes. But discard
okay.
changes.
Because we're not actually going to create that event. But I wanted to give you an opportunity to actually hear the different recurrence options and to see that there's so much flexibility. As I said, we may have one type of um, event that we would need, one type of recurrence pattern that we would need to um, create as two separate events. I'm not sure on that one, but definitely most any recurrence pattern you can think of um, is going to be able to be addressed by this particular implementation. So it's very powerful. And then the other thing I just want to do is I want to remind you, and I don't really have a new one that I can show you right now per se, but I just want to remind you about. We talked about it on Monday, but I think it doesn't hurt to say it again. If you get an email and it has like an add to calendar link, or a website that has an add to calendar button or something, sometimes in um, the Zoom emails it'll just say it's an ICS, or Voiceover will say it's an X. That's because that's the file extension that is used with these calendar events that work with Apple Calendar and some of the other things. And so if you double tap on that particular file or the add to calendar button or whatever, sometimes in emails it's actually like an attachment, but if you double tap on it, you're going to get the details of the event, and there's going to be an add to calendar button at the bottom. You need to hit that add to calendar button first. Then it's going to let you choose which of your calendars you want to add it to. And when you make sure that the correct one is selected, there's a button at the upper right corner of the screen that is your sort of confirmation button. I don't remember now whether it says add or done. I think it's done. But you hit that button and double tap it, and then you are actually good to go, and it's added to your calendar. That is that two-step process we were talking about on Monday. And you don't want to forget that, because if you just hit done and you don't hit add to calendar first, it's not going to do it. So I don't even know if that's possible anymore to do it that way, but I know it used to be um, somewhat of an issue. So just make sure that you are hitting doing the two-step process if you get events like that. And SIRI will try to add things automatically if you have a discussion in a text message conversation, for example, that, hey, are you free for lunch tomorrow? The other person says yes. What time? Let's do noon, and let's go to the Mexican restaurant near us, or the Italian place, or the diner, whatever, you say by name or however you do that in your conversation. And now SIRI is going to parse that information, and if you open your calendar and hit the add button, it's going to make that as a suggestion that you might want to add that, or it may even not require you to go to the add button. You can look at the series suggestions in your inbox, and I showed you that the other day because I had a series suggestion that said add this restaurant reservation, which we do have one coming up the day before Thanksgiving. We like to go to this certain place near my parents, and so let's actually go ahead and add that.
Series suggestion that said
because
2:20 clock. Photo home. Double mail. No one. Photo calendar. Wednesday.
So I go to my inbox.
Toolbar. Inbox 1. Close. Button. Selected. New. Replied.
Okay,
button.
we have new.
2 of series suggestions. Heading. Reservation. The Chocolatier Restaurant Plus Bar. Found in Open Table. Wednesday, November 26th at 6:15 p.m.
I'm going to go to the right.
Add to calendar. Button.
I'm just going to do that. If I go to the right again,
Ignore.
we can
button.
ignore it, but I'm going to add it.
Add to calendar. Close. Button.
Now what it's done, we're not quite finished yet. It's brought up.
Selected. New. Button. Replied.
Actually,
but no invitations.
It is done. That one you don't have to do anything else. That's right. I wasn't sure when I said that, and I was wrong. Yeah, I forgot about that. That one you don't have to do anything else. It's already done.
No invitations.
Now there's nothing in there. It's added to my calendar, so I just go back here.
Select close. Button.
To close. And I can look at my calendar on November the 27th, and...
Months. Tuesday, November 18th. Friday, Wednesday, November 26th. 3 events.
26th, rather. 26th. Did I say 27th?
List button.
Okay.
November. Back button.
Now, 26th.
Events. Tuesday.
And let's...
TTJ Tech Check. Wednesday, November 8th.
Gotta go down here a little bit
Canceled.
more.
Sunday,
and
November 12th.
Here we go. I gotta go all the way down here because I wasn't quite
November 22nd, 2023.
low enough. I'm not even in the right year. Hold on, let me go.
Today,
how did I do that? Let's hit today.
Events.
All right.
Now
Friday, we are
November
on
7th,
the right
heading.
Date here.
Pamela,
I'm gonna go down to
Saturday, November 8th. Heading. Lindsay Wagner.
I'm gonna just
43rd
use
birthday. All just Loja. Take my pet. Change the fish water. The band. Rose. Take my pill.
Okay, what date are we on now?
Wednesday,
Let's see. Wednesday, November.
Heading. Alicia Clark.
Okay.
Take
So I want to go all the way down, and I could have searched this too. I wanted to show you this way. I'm using a 3-finger swipe up and down. So here's the 19th. Let's do another swipe up. And now we're on the 22nd. Let's do another swipe up. And we're now on the right
Wednesday, November 26th. Heading.
Date.
Take my reservation. The Chocolatier Restaurant Plus Bar from 6:15 p.m. to 7:45 p.m.
And there it is. You can see that it added it to the calendar. Now again, I used the 3-finger swipe up to get to that date. You could have double tapped on the date above. You could have done a search. You could have asked SIRI. And if you're an iPad user, there's a really nice way to do it with the rotor. But I'm not going to really get into that right now because we have a separate iPad class in the spring, which I'll encourage all of you to consider taking. It's free, but you know, this is more the iPhone class. So how we find that event, we can do 3-finger swipes, we can use heading navigation, we can use search, we can use SIRI. But we see, praise God, it did add it to the calendar, and that's what I also wanted to show you. Now, the last thing, excuse me, I wanted to show you, actually 2 things. When if I want to edit or delete an event,
charge my Apple.
Here's an event.
Reservation.
That's our reservation. I double tap on it.
Reservation. The Chocolatier Restaurant.
Now I have the event details.
November 26th. Back button.
With a back button at the upper left.
Edit button.
And an edit button at the upper right. If I want to change anything about this event, I hit that edit button. And it's going to allow me to change the date. It's going to allow me to change the, anything about the event.
Toolbar.
And if you go to the, even without going to edit, if you go to the very bottom of the screen with a 4-finger single tap,
map showing toolbar, delete event button.
You have delete event. So if you want to remove the event,
map notes.
And here's
map showing location.
It actually has my
map with text on it. Chick-fil-A.
It actually has my map there showing me because the information is all there.
November 26th.
So we're gonna hit the back button.
Events. Do some Wednesday. Take my reservation.
And there it is. Now the last thing for real this time, before we do our lab, that I want to show you is how to share an existing calendar if you decide to do so. So let's go down to the bottom of the screen and tap on the second button called Calendars.
Toolbar. Events. Today. Calendars. Button.
And double tap.
Close. Button.
Okay, we're on our Calendars screen. And if we want to add a new calendar, that button
selected. Series
is at the upper right.
Calendars. Heading. Close. iCloud.
I
button.
think.
Calendars.
Or is it at the bottom right?
Selected. Series add calendar. Button.
Bottom right. It's at the bottom right.
Add calendar.
Add
button.
calendar. And that's how we can add a new calendar. But I already have multiple calendars here. And maybe I want to share one of those. So what we're going to do is find the calendar.
Other button selected. Bedford County selected. TTJ team selected. Work.
Here's
actions
a calendar.
Available.
Work calendar. Now you notice it said actions available. So that means we have rotor actions. If I swipe up or down.
More info.
More info.
Activate. Default.
Activate. Is there a long press? Let's try that just to see. No.
Select work. Swipe up or down.
But that did deselect it, so I need to double tap it to reselect it.
Selected. Selected.
Okay.
Work.
Now let's use there must be a little like eye next to it for our sighted users to do it with, because there's no long press, so they must have a little, maybe they have to tap and swipe on it. I need to double check that. But for us, we use the rotor, and praise God, we see more info, and we double tap.
Cancel button.
All right, everything we want to know about this calendar is here.
Cancel.
Go to the right.
Edit calendar. Heading. Done. Dimmed. Button. Work. Text field. Double tap to edit.
You can edit the name. Work.
Shared with. Heading.
Shared with.
Add person.
That's how you share it. You hit add person, right? You're going to enter their, Apple account info, whatever. And or maybe it'll even allow you to share through messages. I think it does. I think you can do messages, mail. I think it'll give you a link that you can give them pretty much in any method. So you hit share calendar, or you hit add person, excuse me. And then if you go to the right,
color, heading,
we can pick a color for this calendar.
Purple, notifications, heading.
Now, that calendar is purple.
Purple, button.
But I can double tap to change the color. Go to the right.
Notifications, heading. Event alerts, switched button, on.
Absolutely. I definitely want notifications for events.
Allow events on this calendar to display alerts.
Yep.
Public calendar, switched button, off. Double tap to toggle setting.
Public calendar. Now remember I talked to you about public calendars on Monday. That's like when you join the soccer team, as I gave as the example, right? And you don't want people to be able to modify it because they're the team members, the parents, you just want them to have a read-only access to the calendar so they know when the games are, when the practices are. And you can make this a public calendar, or you can share it individually, because you can share a calendar with multiple people, and that's using the add person option. But if you make this a public calendar, it takes things to a different level. It gives you a URL that you can give anybody. And so, you could put on the soccer team's Facebook page, hey, everybody, click this link to join our soccer team calendar, and stuff like that. So that's the public calendar option. When you do public, it's automatically going to be read-only for the people who join it that way, because, again, you don't want random people modifying the calendar. You can do both. Like, you can do a calendar that is both public and shared with individual people, and the individuals will have a different link, so you can allow them to make changes if you want to. Again, you have full control over that. So
allow anyone to subscribe to a read-only version of this calendar.
That's the public calendar description.
Delete calendar.
And of course at the bottom is delete calendar. All right.
Work. Text field. Done. Dimmed. Edit calendar. Cancel. Button.
Done is not available because...
Selected. Work. Selected. Family.
And see, all my calendars are selected. So up at the top...
Close. Button.
I just hit the close button. Now,
Events,
the reason that the done button was not available, by the way, in case you're wondering, is because we didn't make any changes. And so, if you're listening on our podcast... we hope you've enjoyed those extra teachings. We hope everybody here has too. But now, we're going to move on to our experience lab.
Thanks for joining today's session. Didn't get your question answered? Have an additional comment or feedback? Email us info@ttjtech.biz or info@stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U. That's STURITUP.com. Or check out our websites for additional resources. That's ttjtech.biz or stiritup.com. And remember, subscribe to the newsletter when you're there. That way, you don't miss out on any upcoming announcements or events. Thanks for joining us. God bless, and see you next time.